Hey, what's going on, everyone? Today we're going to be taking a look at the Rattan Pinus. This is a 4-inch fat tire folding e-bike with dual 20 amp hour batteries, and it's using a 25 amp controller to power the 750 watt motor that peaks out at 1200 watts and provides 80 newton meters of torque. So we're going to put this bike through its paces today, see what kind of power it has, what kind of speed it has, and just see how it performs overall. Now, this bike is rocking a torque sensor, so that's nice to see, and that's going to give you a little bit better of a feel like pedaling a regular bicycle. It's going to multiply your torque as you're pedaling. It has a suspension on the front with some adjustments there, a really nice big headlight in the front, and a tail light in the rear that's a brake light when you pull the brake lever. And it also has a turn signal on the left and on the right, which is very, very nice to see. And I got to tell you, I really love the color that they chose for this Pinus. But yeah, maybe they could have picked a different name. Up here on the handlebars, you have your control pad for controlling your different pedal assist levels. And in this display, it is very, very easy to navigate. It's identical to the Magicycle display. So when you go in there, if you've seen those videos of mine, very easy to adjust all the settings. You don't have to worry about P codes and knowing what they mean. It tells you what everything is, and you can adjust each of your pedal assist levels very easily in there. Now, the throttle on this bike is limited to whatever pedal assist level you're in. However, like I said, you can go in the display and you could change from 3, 5, 7, or 9 different levels, and you could change the percentage of each level in the display. This bike also has 3 different modes. It has eco, normal, and sport mode. So we're gonna see if those make any difference. So essentially, if you had this programmed for 9 different levels of assist and it did make a difference between eco, normal, and sport, that would give you like 27 different levels. So that's going to be pretty exciting to see. And to change through those 3 different modes, you just hold down this button and it easily changes from normal, sport, in eco mode. It has a nice set of locking grips, and on the right hand side it has an 8-speed trigger shifter, which leads down to the 12 to 32 tooth 8-speed cassette, and it's using an M40 Sunrace derailleur to shift through those 8-speed gears. Coming up the chain to a 48 tooth chain ring in the front and a set of aluminum folding pedals. Now, this bike comes as a single battery bike, and they do offer the additional 20 amp hour battery for extra long range. And one thing I love about these batteries, they both have an on-off switch, so you can turn them off when you take them off the bike, or you can run one till it dies down and then switch on the other one, or you can run them both at the same time. So that's really nice. One thing to know though, when you get the secondary battery, they do not supply a second charger. However, the charger you get with the bike is a 4.5 amp hour UL rated charger, so it should charge up each of these batteries fairly quickly. Now, this bike also comes with a set of fenders on the front and the rear, which are plastic, and a nice rack on the back for hauling your gear. It also has a set of mounts up front for attaching a basket, and the wiring up front looks really good, wrapped really nice, and goes down through the frame here. Now, I would have liked to see maybe some grommets in here to help keep some water out, but really nice. You don't see any wiring coming down through here, and just really clean look overall. Now, the weight of this bike without the battery is 70 pounds. With the one battery in the frame, it's 81 pounds. And if you get the dual battery set up like it is here, it's 92 pounds with both batteries installed. This bike has a 400 pound payload capacity and a pretty low step over height at 14.5 inches. Now, the minimum seat height when I measured it from the ground up was 30.5 inches. However, the bottom of the seat post hits the top of the controller eventually when it goes down in. And there's some wires that go back here to an XT90 port for some kind of additional inverter that they're going to come out with, and I think they might be sending me that to try with this. So if you guys are interested in seeing what that does, stick around, and if I get it, I'll show you. But if you cut the bottom of that seat post off a little bit, you can actually get that minimum seat height down to 29 inches if needed. Or if you throw a suspension seat post in there, which I recommend, then it won't hit that controller, and it'll give you a little bit of cushion in the back when you're hitting the bumps. And I'll put links down below to the suspension seat post that you would need, both a cheap like $30 one and a more expensive one, as well as the shim that you would need to go with that post to install it in this bike. So if you're interested in that, please check out the links below. And I'll put links to this bike too as well. It will be an affiliate link. And if this video helped you in making your decision, please consider subscribing, and please consider using the link when you purchase to help support the channel, and that's what helps support these reviews. So thank you guys in advance. This bike does fold up, which is really nice for making it easy for transport, and I love the fact that it's sitting on a pair of mag rims. You don't have to worry about adjusting spokes, and it has a set of Kenda 20 by 4 inch fat tires with a reflective strip, so that's also nice to see for safety. For stopping power, this bike's using a pair of Fast Ace hydraulic disc brakes coming down to 180 millimeter rotors on both the front and the rear of the bike. And you can see here the shift cable and the hydraulic cable on the left hand side is also routed through the frame, so very nice. I did have to leave a little loop underneath so there wasn't so many wires inside the frame whenever I installed that second battery and the battery blender. Now, one thing I do want to mention is if you purchase the secondary battery, you have to install that yourself. It does come with the battery blender. However, it is very, very tight to get that battery blender and everything wired in there. It is doable. I got it done, but it is a little bit tricky to get everything in there and wired up. And if you follow my channel, you know that my reviews are brutally honest and I don't leave anything out. And I do want to mention that when I first received this bike, within the first half a mile, the controller went out in it. I reached out to the company. They sent me a new one. It took about a week and a half or so to receive it. I put it back in. I've been riding the bike around and haven't had any issues since. But we're going to put this bike through the same paces that I put all my bikes through, and we're going to see if that second controller holds up. Now, one thing I was very impressed with is when I took the controller out to replace it, I was curious of what happened, so I was trying to take the controller apart, and that's when I noticed that inside the controller it was potted. It's full of like a thermal silicone, which helps with both vibration and waterproofing inside that controller, so I thought that was pretty neat to see. And face it, guys, things break. You know, things happen, but what's most important is they did send me a new controller and I got it up and running again. Now, it was a little tricky getting this controller out of the frame because it was a little bit tight in there, and you kind of have to wiggle it out of where it's in the seat post area and get all the other wires lined up just right to slide it out, but I was able to change it pretty easily. Oh, they even sent me a video of how to do it. All right, here we go. On the first hill I go up in all my videos, we are going to try this test twice. Right now I'm in eco mode. Then we're going to hit it again in sport to see if it makes a difference. We're going to see how fast we can go up this hill. Now, my fastest single hub motor 750 watt bike is 11 miles an hour up this hill, so let's see if this will beat it. 11, 10. Not bad, guys. 10 miles an hour. That's only 1 mile per hour less than the 52 volt 750 watt bike that is my fastest bike up this hill. So really good so far on the power and speed up the first hill test. And just like that, I forgot to go back and do the test the second time. So let's head back and hit that hill again in sport mode. All right, let's see if it will beat 10 miles per hour on sport mode. And it does have a wattage reading on the display, but just like the Magicycle, it caps out at 999 watts on the display, but peaks well over that. 11, 10. So still 10 miles an hour. So I'm not quite sure what eco, normal, and sport mode do yet. So far, they seem like they're the same. So far, the brakes seem pretty nice. 28 miles an hour here. We'll see how they stop at the bottom of this hill. 30 miles an hour. 33. Oh yeah, lock them up easily if I wanted to. All right, so now we're in sport mode, starting out here in pedal assist 1. Doesn't really seem like it's giving me any power with the pedals yet. So 1 is very, very tame. I have it set to 20% on 1, and it's just now giving me like 35 watts of power. So very, very tame there on the pedal assist levels. But what's nice is you could stay in pedal assist 5. I'm going to show you that here. And I'm still going the same speed because I'm still putting the same amount of effort on the pedals. 9 miles an hour. Now I could push a little harder and it's going to speed up. And that's what's nice about a torque sensor. Now, one thing I noticed is you do have to put a little bit more effort into this torque sensor than some other bikes I've tested, but the throttle overrides it very easily. When you're in pedal assist 5, you can go max speed with throttle. So at any time, if you feel like you're pushing too hard, you can just hit that throttle and take off. But if you're just trying to pedal and not use the throttle, you will definitely get your exercise on this bike because of the way it's tuned. You do have to put some effort in on that torque sensor to get it going. So now some torque sensor e-bikes, you don't have to push very hard and it goes pretty easily. This one, it did seem like you have to push a little bit harder. So if you want the feel of riding a traditional bicycle, but still have that assistance, then this might be the bike for you. And if you get tired of pedaling, you can always override it with the throttle. So that's pretty nice. It's really tame. And like I said, if a lot of people are worried about not being able to get exercise on e-bikes, this one you could definitely get it if you want it. And then if you don't want it, you just hit the throttle and override it. So pretty nice there on the setup. And I was just playing around with the eco, normal, and sport mode. And what I think it does is I think it changes how quick the speed picks up off the start. I think in eco mode, it doesn't pick up quite as fast. And I think on sport mode, it has a little bit more power out of the hole when you first start. So I'm going to test it a little bit more throughout this ride, but as far as I can tell, that's what it does. It's not so much to where it's very noticeable, but if you're looking at the display, you can kind of see how it seems like it has a little bit less power off the start in eco mode. So if you want a ton of range, you're probably going to want to stay in that mode. And to be honest, I really didn't notice too much of a difference between the three modes. So we're going to try these brakes one more time down here, feather them down, get them nice and hot. Oh yeah, easily can lock them up. That's hard to do one-handed. All right, so right now I'm in eco mode and it's giving me 35 watts, 53. Bumping it up here. Still giving me 53 in sport mode. So right now I'm in sport mode. Right off the start, it seems like it's pretty much jumping up pretty quickly to 900 watts. I'm gonna go ahead and switch to eco mode. Yeah, this still seems like it's jumping up pretty quick to 900, so I don't know, guys. I don't know if there's much difference there between eco, normal, and sport or not. I don't see much of a difference. So right now I'm just pedaling 27 miles an hour, and it does feel like it's a little bit of a fast cadence with that 48 tooth chainring and 12 tooth cog on the back. It would have been nice to see either an 11 tooth cog or maybe a little bit larger of a chainring on the front. However, that chainring might interfere with the folding mechanism if you go too large of a sprocket. So I'm not sure you can bump that up too high, but you might be able to change the back to an 11 tooth if you like to pedal at higher speeds. All right, here we go. We're going to test out max speed up here. Very smooth though. Motor sounds quiet. So we're in gear 8. We're going to go ahead and pedal first. I'll show you the cadence here at max speed. When you're pedaling with that torque sensor, you got to put pressure on to go faster. This is 24, 23. But what's nice about this one is it allows you to go faster than 20 miles an hour with the throttle. And you'll see here, I can hit the throttle and get up to 27, 26, 27, 28. And this would be me pedaling at 29, 30. 30 miles an hour, guys. This bike's quick. 30 miles an hour. Oh, we got a bunch of water up here. That's what makes them fenders nice. Nice to have fenders when it's wet like that. But yeah, guys, this is a fast bike, 30 miles an hour with just throttle. However, you will run out of pedal a little bit before that. So if you plan on going 30, you're probably not going to be pedaling. But I do really like that they let you go over 20 miles an hour with the throttle. Some torque sensor bikes will limit your throttle to 20, and it's really hard to get up to that 28 miles per hour mark when you're pedaling because it's hard to keep pressure on the pedals at those high speeds sometimes. For example, like on the Hovsko Beta bike that I reviewed, you can see that I updated the freewheel on the rear, and if you want to see a video on how to do that, make sure you go check it out. But I updated that because you would run out of putting pressure on the pedals fairly quickly, and once I changed it, I was able to get a few more miles per hour out of it. But that bike was limited to 20 miles per hour with the throttle. All right, let's just do some throttle only and see what kind of speed we can maintain up this hill. Put that controller through its paces here, get it nice and hot, and see if we can burn it out again. Honestly, guys, I think there was just a defect from the manufacturer on that first one that was in the bike. I mean, this one has been working perfectly since I put it in, no issues at all. But couldn't leave it out of the video. No problems, pulled me up that hill easily. Front suspension on this bike, it's really nice. No complaints at all with the front suspension. However, the only thing I would recommend is maybe putting a suspension seat post in the back, but it's honestly not too bad. The seat is actually really comfortable. I don't even think I would change the seat. I would probably leave the seat alone. But the front suspension, really nice. I'm trying to hit these big holes so you can see it working, but it's very smooth. This is all one-handed too, which makes it even harder, but very nice on the suspension. So I was messing around with the slow start in the settings to see if that would change how much pressure you had to put on the pedal assist. I don't think it really changed much. The water was all the way up in here. It flooded the other day here. You can see this is all muddy. This was all underwater the other day from all the rain we got. We got rain for like a week straight. Let's check out the suspension here. Going off the curb, pretty nice. See if we can get back up on there. Nice. That front shock is really nice, guys. No banging. I can actually hear, I think it's hydraulic spring suspension. You can actually hear it going. The seat's really comfortable though. I actually don't even really feel the bumps that much in the back. All right, here we go. Let's put this controller through some more testing. Throttle only up the steepest hill in town. Let's see if this burns it out. Not quite sure if this is gonna make it with 80 Newton meters of torque or not. 10, 9, 8, 7. Not bad, guys. It's pulling me right up, no problem. Just throttle. Huh. Very, very nice. No issues with this controller. All right, here's one of the last long hills before I get to my house, and this is actually on the opposite side of the road of the normal hill that I take. Just a little bit of a different route today. We're gonna do mostly throttle up this. I'll probably pedal a little bit as needed. I'm gonna get that controller really nice and hot just to make sure that it's gonna be good. I have a feeling it will be. Well, like I said before, it was really nice to see when I did take the other one that broke apart that it was potted and full of a thermal gel. That was really nice. It's going to be good for vibrations and moisture and heat dissipation. So actually it's pulling me up so far, no problems with just throttle. And what's nice about this 40 amp hour dual battery version is under load, I'm still sitting at 50.7 volts. Really nice. No issues. Straight up with just throttle. Cruising pretty good, 20 miles an hour. I actually didn't expect it to pull me all the way up with just throttle. That's pretty good. We got a really steep part coming up over here. We'll try that with just throttle and see what happens. I don't expect it to make it up that though, but we'll see. But that's why I do these tests, to make sure they're good. All right, we're to the top. Whoa, to the top of this one. We'll try to go down this little decline here, and then we'll go up that steeper part over there and see if it makes it with just throttle. It might make it. I think it will. All right, here we go. Just throttle. No problems, right up it. Nice. So I would say I just got a defective controller the first time, guys. I mean, like I said, things happen, things break, but didn't want to leave it out of the video. Wanted to be transparent, just like in all my reviews. All right, let's hit this first hill, just throttle, getting a run for it, and see how we can do going up at full speed here. 29, still giving me 1,000 watts, 28, 27, 25, 23, 20, dropped to about 12 miles an hour that time at making a run for it, but we got up it a lot quicker. All right, everyone, just made it back home and no issues at all on that ride. And I really put that controller through its paces, giving it a lot of full throttle and just throttle going up some of the steepest hills in town. But let me know what you think down below. Let me know if you think this might be the right bike for you. Don't forget to use the link below if you want to help support the channel. And if not, please check out some of my other videos and I will see y'all around on the next one. Thanks for watching, everyone.